What's good, everybody on YouTube? It's your boy Ariel, and I'm back with another video for all of my YouTube viewers. Before I get into the topic of this video, I do want to let all of my YouTube viewers know that this is just my opinion, and when it comes down to choosing players like this, a lot of people may agree, others may disagree. So if you agree or disagree, make sure you comment below with your top position players entering the 2015 season for Major League Baseball. Now, here we go on with the list. Keep in mind, this is just my opinion. All right, let's go. Starting at center field, it's not really hard. Maybe it is, but I would go with Mike Trout. Some people may say Andrew McCutchen. Others may go along with what I said, Mike Trout. But you could really go either way. But I choose Mike Trout because the guy is still very young. He's only going to get better. Let's keep in mind that he did win MVP last season. He finally surpassed Miguel Cabrera, who he was behind in second place 2 years in a row. So I would go with Mike Trout. The guy is an absolute monster. Hits for power, hits for average, scores runs, drives and runs. The stolen bases were, a little down, but he's still very young, so I'm pretty sure the speed is still there for him. So I would go with Mike Trout, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wins another MVP this season. So look out for that. Now, starting over, let's go to the infield. Let's start at third base. Third base, without a doubt, I don't really think you could choose anybody over this guy. I'm going to go with Adrian Beltre of the Texas Rangers. He's been probably the most consistent third baseman for a really, really long time. You could say 10 years now. There are a lot of upcoming players at that position. You got Josh Donaldson, who's pretty good. You got Manny Machado, although he was injured. He's pretty good as well. And then you got two veterans that are already pretty good at that position. You got Evan Longoria and you got David Wright. But I don't really think there's anybody at third base that can hit for average, hit for power, drive runs in, and play defense the way Adrian Beltre does. So without a doubt, Adrian Beltre, hands down, is my third baseman. At shortstop, this is an obvious one. I don't really think you can choose. There's nobody you can even think about, honestly, at shortstop. You have to go with Troy Tulowitzki when healthy. A lot of people are going to disagree because he's always injured. I don't blame you, but when healthy, Troy Tulowitzki is not just the best shortstop in the game. He's arguably one of the best players in the game. The guy hits for average, hits for power, drives runs in, and his defense is amazing. A lot of people, I understand I said this, but a lot of people are going to disagree because his health. He's always injured every single year. But guys, did you see his numbers at the All-Star break? Oh my goodness. If Troy Tulowitzki did not get injured last season, mark my words, he would have won the MVP instead of Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw would have only won the Cy Young Award. Troy Tulowitzki was on a roll. I understand he would have went into a drought, but Troy Tulowitzki is just an amazing player. He's not one of those guys that's, put up the numbers one season and then that's it. No, Troy Tulowitzki has been great his entire career, but it just so happens that he's always injured. But Troy Tulowitzki, without a doubt, you have to put him at shortstop when healthy, as I said, because he's always injured, unfortunately. So that's who I would choose at shortstop. Second base, a lot of people are going to say somebody else. But if you think about it, you can't really choose that guy. I understand he has more World Series rings. I understand he's won an MVP. But you have to go with Robinson Cano over Dustin Pedroia, without a doubt. Over the last few years, a lot of people have been saying Dustin Pedroia is a better second baseman than Robinson Cano. Guys, I don't know if you guys have been watching baseball for the last 6 years, you could say, but Robinson Cano has been the best second baseman in the game. I respect Dustin Pedroia. I respect what he brings to the Red Sox organization, but Robinson Cano, wow, he is consistent. Average defense. He can hit for power. He drives and runs. He's just an absolute beast. I don't even know why people would even say Dustin Pedroia, and I did say he won the World Series rings. He won the MVP, but if you compare Robinson Cano's numbers every single year for like the last 6 seasons compared to Dustin Pedroia's MVP year. Cano's numbers are pretty much better than those. Just my opinion, but I'm going with Robinson Cano. Let's go to first base now. This one is pretty much easy. His defense is iffy. It sucks, you could say. But I'm going to go with Miguel Cabrera of the Detroit Tigers, arguably the most dangerous hitter in baseball. No, I'm kidding. He is the most dangerous hitter in all of baseball. Had a down season last year because of the injuries, but I wouldn't be surprised if Miguel Cabrera steals the MVP trophy away from Mike Trout this year. Miguel Cabrera is an absolute beast. Triple Crown winner, won the MVP the year after. The numbers he put up last season, those are MVP type numbers as well. And that's considered a down year for a guy like Miguel Cabrera. But Miguel Cabrera is an absolute monster. So, you can't go with anybody else, really. Paul Goldschmidt, but his numbers don't really compare to Miguel Cabrera's. But anyway, it's just my opinion, as I said in the very beginning of this video. Now, at catcher, a lot of people are going to choose 3 different guys. You can go with Yadier Molina, you can go with Buster Posey, or you can go with Jonathan Lucroy. Jonathan Lucroy, I wouldn't choose him because last year was his breakout season, you could say. Buster Posey is pretty much very consistent, but I would go with Yadier Molina. I don't really see a better all-around catcher in the game besides Yadier Molina. His hitting is getting better as the years go by. He was injured last season, so I understand why people would choose Buster Posey or Jonathan Lucroy. Some may even choose Yan Gomes. If you want to choose Yan Gomes, go ahead, but I'm going with Yadier Molina. His defense is amazing. He throws out basically 1 out of 2 people who steal bases. So if 2 people are running, 1 is getting gunned out for sure. His percentage is pretty much 50%. And as I said, the hitting is getting better as the years go by. So Yadier Molina at catcher. Now we have 2 more positions left. We got left field and right field. Let's start off with right field. I'm going with Giancarlo Stanton. Now, this was pretty much a hard one for me because there's 2 guys that you can choose instead of Giancarlo Stanton. You can choose Jose Bautista, who's an absolute beast. Hits for power. He drives in runs like, nothing. And then you got a rising star in Yasiel Puig. Yasiel Puig, I wouldn't really choose him because he reminds me of Manny Ramirez. Now, don't get me wrong. Manny Ramirez was an amazing player, but the attitude really doesn't really rock with me. But I wouldn't be surprised if Yasiel Puig becomes a top right fielder after the 2015 season. But I'm going with Giancarlo Stanton because, guys, look at the numbers he put up last season. It's an absolute monster. And for the last 3 years, he's been putting up insane power numbers, driving in runs like crazy. It's unfortunate that his season got cut short a bit because he got hit by the pitch in his face. But I wouldn't be surprised if Giancarlo Stanton comes and wins MVP this season. So look out for that. I'm going with Giancarlo Stanton in right field. Left field is pretty hard because there's not much going on in left field. You got Alex Gordon. Many people would choose him. You got Matt Holliday. You got Bryce Harper. Alex Gordon, I won't choose him because I believe his numbers don't match his potential. The potential he has, he looks like a 300 hitter to me. He seems like a guy that could go for like 25 or 30 and 100, but he hasn't done it yet. Don't get me wrong, his defense is amazing. I'm not going to question that. Without a doubt, his defense is fabulous, but I wouldn't really go with him because I don't really think he's reached his potential. Matt Holliday has been probably the most consistent left fielder for quite some time right now. But I see potential in Bryce Harper. So I'm going to go with Bryce Harper in left field. He has been injured quite some time for like the last 3 years. He's very clumsy. He's always getting injured for the most littlest things. But you got to respect the guy's game. He hits for power. The speed is there. The defense is there. it's hard because he reminds me. So far, he's looking like a Troy Tulowitzki. Has the potential to put up crazy numbers, but keeps getting injured. But I believe in Bryce Harper. I don't believe in the hype that they always have around him, but I would go with Bryce Harper. He's a potential MVP candidate in the near future. If not, hopefully 2015 is his breakout season. But as I said, I'm going with Bryce Harper. So that's it for this video, guys. As I said, a lot of you guys are going to disagree, and a lot of you guys are going to agree with me. Just make sure you comment below, and like, comment, share, and subscribe for more YouTube videos. It's your boy Ariel, and I'm out.